Karl Hungus.
This guy's a serious professional.
Karl, nicknamed Hungus, is a bar manager in Denver.
Start Karl Hungus. She had to have her some Hungus.
Karl Hungus.
I think you're a heck of a wrestler, you're a great technician in the ring, and you're a jam-up guy.
He's freaking genius!
Oh! This is my edition. That is a good nomination, Hungus. That is good.
I'm here, ain't I? Let's talk football.
Let's talk football.
Well, Dan, before we get into the Bronco talk, I've been waiting to talk to you about this one thing for a very long time. Didn't give you any briefing on it, but it goes like this. Dan Fouts, you got to know, he is a professional broadcaster and one of the best in the business, but we all make mistakes from time to time. And I think a game that I played in, and not to ambush him like that, but I think that a game that I played in back when I was a CU Buff, I think we bore witness to probably the worst name gaffe in Dan Fouts' history, and I bet he'd be willing to admit it, even if he remembered. We did a throwback pass to this kid.
Hey. Let me tell you what happened, okay?
Yes, he remembers.
First of all, your uniforms are horrible. The font and the numbers is terrible. You got no names on the back, okay? So when Barry Kunkel threw that pass, I had no idea who it was because I couldn't see his number, couldn't see his name, no name on the back. And so Kelly wrote down Bavra Cantil.
Bavari Cantil.
and my partner, Keith Jackson, said, Dan, that looks more like Barry Kunkel to me.
We took it in good stride. We may have watched that clip about a dozen times during Film Breakdown the following Monday, but he was tagged with that nickname of Bavari Cantil for quite some time, and I got his blessing yesterday to bring it up with you.
Well, I've done a number of radio broadcasts with Gary Barnett.
Coach, you want to come cut Hungus's hair?
Have you let it go along? What would Kevin say?
Oh no! Well, Kevin's probably listening. Coach, it's like
Kevin. Who's Kevin?
You're under the helmet for so long, and I didn't like long hair then. But as long as I still have a hairline, I'm letting it roll like very hippity dippity.
Who's Kevin?
Kevin's my mom, Reno.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, what would Kevin say?
Well, Coach, we've once again enjoyed having you on here, and I've enjoyed listening to you on the radio broadcast. I tuned in the other day for, I think it was, you're down in LSU-Alabama game, talking about guys getting stoned at the line of scrimmage, and oh boy, it brought me back.
I'll tell you, that was a heck of a game, and the difference between the good teams and the other teams are those teams that can tackle.
Boy, let me tell you something. He's got the right mental attitude to go with his physical game. Brendan Schaub's still a young guy. He's only about 27. Are you the opening fight on the pay-per-view Saturday?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Wow, you got to like that, man. I mean, is there any sort of – I mean, winning is the main priority, but many times in the UFC, it's like – making an impact is just as good sometimes for your career. Is there any thoughts of like, I'm going to go in and steal the show?
Yeah, for me, and I think that's why Dana White and Joe Silva put me on these monster cards.
You know what? I heard you just say that, and I had to call and say, I'm 40 years old, born and raised in this state, always been proud to be a Bronco fan. But I think I'm becoming accustomed to being a loser.
Well, I want to ask a longtime fan like yourself, what is it about this team that makes you so disappointed? Is it the complete lack of running game, which had always been something Denver fans could hang their hat on? Is it the injuries that have mounted up and just not allowed this? Is it some sort of coaching ineptitude? What I want to know which is the more painful loss. I feel like the Raider loss was such an aberration of just like what can happen when everything goes wrong in a football game. Compare that to the 49er game, and I'll toss it out to you. Which is the more stinging loss, the absolute beatdown or the missed opportunity against a team that's, I think the Raiders are going to end up showing that they're not a bad team. I still think the 49ers are a very bad team in the mold of the Broncos. So which loss is more stinging?
The Raiders lost